What's up, guys? Back with another movie review. Today I'm here to talk about one from alternative cinema, and this is The Abduction of Lorelei, which is the first volume in the Venus Theater Presents series, which comes with a total of 3 movies on the disc, but I'll do separate reviews for those. So this review is just for The Abduction of Lorelei. So this stars Serena, who's basically an adult film legend, as a woman who gets kidnapped. She's actually the daughter of a very rich guy. So these two guys kidnap her with the hopes of cashing in on $1 million ransom. And of course, they rough her up a little bit beforehand, take her back to their hideout. And that's whenever Lorelei discovers that there's a woman working alongside these two guys. Things don't get much better for her there. They end up forcing themselves on her, beating her up, doing some degrading things to her, taking pictures of all of it so that they can send them to her father, so that in case he decides he's not going to pay it, it would look pretty bad for pictures of his daughter in these strange situations being released to the public. So that would put some additional pressure on him to come through with the ransom. At the same time, Lorelei is starting to notice that there are some cracks in the relationships between her abductors, and so she sees a potential chance there to kind of maybe formulate a way to put a wedge in there and make it so that she can maybe, get away and get out of this alive. And that's pretty much the premise of this movie. It's a pretty short, brisk movie. I think it's like 70 minutes maybe. This is pretty much porn. It's not all hardcore, vivid graphic sex, but there's quite a bit of unsimulated sex acts in this one. So if you're averse to very vivid nudity or sexual content, this is probably not the movie for you. I would say most people who are into it probably still wouldn't be into this, because it's a very rough, nasty movie that has a lot of rough and tumble sexual activity and roughing up and degrading of Lorelei. It's basically like a pretty, like, when you think of like a grindhouse erotica, it's basically this movie would be pretty much what I think of. It's really rough, it's really nasty, it's really grimy. It's definitely not the mainstream erotica. It's got Serena in it, which is a huge draw, I think, for anybody who's a fan of of adult cinema. And again, this isn't constant hardcore content, which is going to upset some people, make other people a little bit happy because they don't have to sit, that don't appreciate that. But it's definitely, again, one that's going to offend people that are squeamish toward nudity or sexual content. Anyway, the main people this is going to appeal to are fans of exploitation and grindhouse style erotica, or just adult film in general. I think it has more appeal to the grindhouse, exploitation fans than those who are looking for more like traditional porn, just because it does have, more of like that nasty vibe to it that makes it feel more like a exploitation / horror movie, kind of rape revenge type movie, than a traditional adult film. So anyway, I thought it was really not a fun movie, but it was pretty well made, and definitely had an impact, and had had some interesting elements to it. Serena is fun to watch, as always, even in these terrible situations. The DVD is from Alternative Cinema, and again, it's got this movie plus 2 others, Turn Me Round and South of the Border. I'll do separate reviews for those later on. Abduction of Lorelei looks very rough, but it is what it is. These are lucky to even have them. They came from the archives of the Venus Theater. So they're, hanging on by a thread. The fact that we're even able to watch these now is probably nothing short of a minor miracle. So yeah, it looks rough, but it's, it's there. And I don't know for sure if it's complete. It seems to match up time-wise with the most accepted, kind of definitive version of the movie. So 3 movies, all from the same, that are going to be of the same interest group to people, I'll put on one disc. I think that's a pretty solid release. And again, while it doesn't look fantastic, it definitely looks watchable. So that's my review, The Abduction of Lorelei. It's a tough one to recommend to everybody, because it is pretty rough and nasty, and I know a lot of people don't like the adult, more hardcore elements of it, which this movie certainly has. But if you're open to that kind of stuff and you like kind of rough exploitation, give it a look. And again, it's from Alternative Cinema. You get it pretty much everywhere. Their website, Amazon, pretty much, all over the place. So anyway, if you want to check out my full write-up of it, you can go to markfusion.com and check that out. There's also have a lot of other erotica, adult films, cult films, horror films, Lifetime movies, all kinds of stuff there. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at markfusion. You can go follow me on Letterboxd at markfusion. You can see what I've been watching there, if I can talk properly, and what might be coming up here soon. But the best way you can help me out is just to hit that sub button. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me. help me to keep finding all these, you know, bizarre on the fringes movies like The Abduction of Lorelei and talk to you guys about them. And also watching older videos is a huge help as well. So if there's something that catches your eye out of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of movie reviews on here, just know that watching those is a huge help to me. Thank you so much for watching this video, though. I do appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.